Hey everyone, welcome back to Mr. English Clips. I'm Michael.
And I'm Emily. In today's episode, we're going to talk about something that's a big part of everyone's life, jobs and work.
That's right. No matter where you live, what language you speak, or what you do, we all have to work. And today, we'll show you how to talk about your job, your daily work life, and different kinds of jobs in natural English.
We'll also teach you some useful vocabulary and expressions people use when talking about work, so you can sound more confident when speaking English at your job or in everyday conversations.
Let's start simple. When someone asks, "What do you do?" they want to know about your job. You can answer by saying, "I'm a teacher," "I'm a driver," "I'm a student," or "I work in an office."
That's right. You can also say, "I work as a nurse," or "I work for a company." If you don't have a job right now, you can say, "I'm looking for a job," or "I'm unemployed at the moment."
If you're still studying, you can say, "I'm a student," or "I study at university." That's also a kind of work, just unpaid work.
Yes, studying is definitely work. Now, let's talk about types of jobs. Some people work full-time, others part-time. Full-time means around 40 hours a week. Part-time means fewer hours, maybe 20 or 25 hours.
Exactly. You can also say, "I work from home," or "I work remotely," if you don't go to an office every day.
And if you have your own business, you can say, "I'm self-employed," or "I run my own company."
Some people say, "I'm a freelancer." That means they don't work for one company. They work on different projects for different clients.
That's a good one. Freelancing is becoming more and more common. Many people work online today as designers, translators, teachers, writers, or even content creators.
Now let's talk about what happens at work. Most people start their day by saying, "I go to work at 8," or "I start work at 9." You can also say, "I finish work at 5," or "I get off work at 6."
And don't forget to say, "I go home after work," or "I take the bus to work." These are very common everyday sentences.
At work, you can talk about what you do. For example, "I answer emails," "I talk to customers," "I help students," or "I repair cars." Just use the simple present tense to describe your daily duties.
Yes, you can also use words like colleague or coworker. A colleague is someone you work with. You can say, "My colleagues are very friendly," or "I like my coworkers."
If you want to talk about your boss, you can say, "My boss is kind," or "My boss gives me a lot of work." And if you're the boss, you can say, "I manage a small team," or "I'm in charge of 5 people."
Good expressions. Let's also talk about the workplace. You can say, "I work in an office," "I work in a school," "I work in a hospital," or "I work outdoors."
If you do physical work, you can say, "I work with my hands," or "I do manual work." For example, mechanics, builders, and farmers do manual work.
Exactly. And if you have an office job, you can say, "I work at a desk," or "I use a computer every day."
Let's move on to some useful workplace phrases. When you have a lot of work, you can say, "I'm busy," or "I have a lot to do." If you're tired, you can say, "I need a break."
And when your workday is easy, you can say, "It's a slow day," or "I don't have much work today." Those are natural ways to describe your day.
If you're talking about time off, you can say, "I have a day off tomorrow," or "I'm on vacation next week." These are good phrases to use in casual conversation.
And if you don't go to work because you're sick, you can say, I took a sick day, or I'm off work because I'm not feeling well.
Now let's talk about job satisfaction. You can say, I like my job, I enjoy what I do, or my job is interesting.
If you don't like your job, you can say, my job is stressful, or I want to find a new job. You can also say, I'm looking for something better.
And when you're proud of what you do, you can say, I love my job, or I feel good about my work.
Let's talk about some common job-related words. Salary means the money you earn each month. Wages means the money you get each week or day.
And promotion means you move to a higher position. For example, I got a promotion at work.
That's always a great feeling. You can also say, I got a raise, when your boss increases your salary.
If you lose your job, you can say, I was fired or I was laid off. But if you leave your job by choice, you say, I quit or I left my job.
Let's use these in examples. I got a promotion last month. I quit my old job because it was too stressful. My company laid off some workers last year.
Perfect. Those are exactly how native speakers say it.
Now, let's talk about teamwork. At most jobs, you work with other people. You can say, we work as a team, or we help each other.
You can also say, we have meetings every week, or we discuss our projects. These are common phrases in office English.
If you want to talk about your tasks, you can say, I'm responsible for marketing, or I'm in charge of sales. Responsible for and in charge of are very useful expressions.
Yes. You can also say, I handle customer service, or I take care of orders. These are common when talking about your work duties.
When something is difficult, you can say, my job is challenging, or I have to work under pressure.
And when something is enjoyable, you can say, my job is fun, or I work in a friendly environment.
Let's talk about common workplace conversations. For example, you might say, can I take a break? Or, when is the meeting? Or, can you help me with this project?
You can also say, let's work together, or I'll send you the report. These are short but useful everyday work phrases.
Now, let's share a short example conversation between two coworkers.
Hey, Emily, how's work going?
Pretty good. I've been really busy this week, but I finished a big project today.
That's great. I have a meeting this afternoon, but after that, things should calm down.
Nice. Are you taking any days off soon?
Yeah, I'm planning to take a short vacation next month. I really need some rest.
Good idea. Everyone needs a break sometimes.
See? That's how natural workplace conversations sound. Simple, friendly, and realistic.
Exactly. You don't need complicated words, just clear and natural sentences like these.
Now let's talk about dream jobs. When someone asks, what's your dream job? You can answer, I'd like to be a pilot, or I'd love to be a writer.
Or, my dream job is to travel the world, or I want to work with animals. You can use I'd like to, I'd love to, or I want to.
Let's also talk about job changes. You can say, I'm thinking about changing jobs, or I'm looking for something new.
You can also say, I'm trying to improve my skills, or I'm studying to get a better job.
That's a great point. Learning new skills is one of the best ways to grow in your career.
Exactly. You can say, I'm taking an online course, or I'm learning English to get a better job.
Good motivation. English really helps in almost every kind of job today.
Absolutely. If you can speak English, you can work with people from all over the world.
Let's share one more example paragraph you can use to describe your work life. I work full-time as an office assistant. I start work at 9 a.m. and finish at 5. I answer emails, help customers, and organize files. I like my coworkers and my boss is friendly. I get paid monthly and I try to save some money. Sometimes work is stressful, but I enjoy it because I learn something new every day.
That's a great example. It's simple, clear, and uses all the common work expressions.
You can write your own version. Just change the job and details.
Before we finish, let's go over a few key phrases one more time. I work as a teacher. I start work at 8 a.m. I'm responsible for answering emails. I like my job because it's interesting. I'm looking for a new job in marketing.
Practice these sentences every day. Try saying them out loud to sound more natural.
And remember, talking about your job is one of the best ways to connect with people in English. Everyone likes to share what they do.
That's so true. So keep practicing, keep speaking, and keep improving your English every day.
Well, that's all for today's episode.
Thanks for joining us on Mr. English Clips. We hope you learned how to talk about jobs and work life in natural English.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more English lessons every week.
And tell us in the comments, what's your job? Or what's your dream job? We'd love to read your answers.
Maybe we'll share your comments in our next episode.
That would be awesome.
See you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.